there's something wrong with that. So I will always kill the queen in that. I'll break that down into a minimum of 3 to 4 nuclei. Move it out of the apiary, because you don't want your flying bees will all return to the same spot. So, but if you break that down into 4 nukes, you'll still have enough bees in it, and you're increasing your stocks as well at the same time. So I'm always looking for, my colony has got to be in honey production. If it's not in honey production, then it's going to go into new production. So that one there is that, is that I would turn that into 4 nukes. If that's coming mid-June and the bees are in it, but there's not the volume to go up into the hives, then as soon as I have queen cells, that colony gets split down. And it's just taken out of my inspections as well. So. Double broods. I've tried it a few times, and I just don't like it. The only time I really use a double brood is if I have young queens now that they're in a national box. She's just laid out the 12 frames or 11 frames that's in it, and she needs more space. I'll give it a double brood box of it. But as a general rule, I don't like double brood boxes because it's double the trouble. It's double the inspections. It's double the amount of frames that you have to go through. If you don't find her in the top brood box, then you have to go through the bottom one. If you can't find it, you have to go through that and that. So you could have it up to 4. So I don't like the double broods, or I even don't like brood and a half either. So it's the same thing. But what you can do is that your inspections is generally, what I will do is that on the double broods, is that I just flip the box in half, and I just take the chance that that's my own inspections. As soon as I see queen cells starting to appear on the bottom bars, then that's an indication, or even play cups, that they're getting ready, and that's when I go down, split down that double brood box as well into groups. So there's also if I'm running short and I need to make up more nuclei, is that I can split down a full hive into 5 or 6 nukes. And what I just do is, just like an artificial swarm, I move the hive away. In its position, I will put a nuke box. And all your flying bees are going back. I'll put in a frame of bees, wait until I have enough flying bees that I think that it's viable for that box. Sponges, move to the side, put another box in its place, until I actually break down the whole hive and the whole brood nest. And end up with 5 or 6 or sometimes even 8 nukes that you can make if you're on a double brood box. But that way then you just have to move them completely out of the apiary. The reason why I have the guard on that is that I was splitting down an aggressive hive, and I didn't want to bring any of the drones back to my main apiary, which is on the outside of the Phoenix Park. So that screen stew was just put on so that no drones would get back into the nuke box and affect sort of the mating in my apiary. So, if you're making up nukes, you must have brood in the nuclei in order to stabilise it. If you just make it up with stores or empty brood frames and there's no brood there in it, there's no reason for those bees to stay in it at all whatsoever. And that's just a nuke box I made up late in the evening. I didn't get a chance of inserting the queen into it. I made it up. It was the tail end of a hive that I had broke down. So I said, I'll give you the queen in the morning time, and I just left the queen on the top of the nuke box in the Apidea box. The following morning I came back and all the bees had just piled out and swamped into the Apidea box. It's handy enough, I just shook them all back into the queen, was fine. But it just goes to show you have to have brood within the nuclei in order to stabilise it. So once you have made up your nuke, well, leave 24 hours, then you need to either insert your queen cell that's there, or your virgin queen that has hatched in your incubator, or your mated queen that you've taken out of your Apidea box. So this is the way with your incubator is good that you know precisely how many nukes that you need to make up, and that's why, if I have 12 queen cells that's hatched out in an incubator and just going, that hive I don't think like, I'll break that hive completely down into the amount of nukes that I need, and then put them aside for those will be just put to go through the winter time and see how they are in the spring time. So. But 100%, if you've made up your queen cells again, or you've made up your nuke, you've made it up maybe 4 or 5 days beforehand, you need to go back in and break down any queen cells that started, because it's not the job of an introduced queen to actually break down any queen cells that's there. It is her job to actually find another queen and they'll fight to death, but not to break down queen cells. So find them, what will end up is that when the queen cell is capped, they'll actually push out and try to swarm your queens there. At the end of the year, if I have any nukes that are a little bit on the weak side, I top them up with bees. We've all done where we've taken our supers off at the end of the year and there was just too many bees in order to fit back down into the hive. We've reduced down 3, 4, 5 supers and we're trying to get them to squash down back into a national group box. So and I use Canadian clear boards the whole time. So this is what the end and bottom of your Canadian clear board can look like. And what I just do is I just spray that down completely with water. I dampen the bees down and I take about a full pint of bees. These are generally all young nurse redundant bees that are hanging around up there. And I take a full pint or a pint and a half from each hive that is bursting with bees. And I just go to a nuke that's just a little bit on the weak side and I just throw the damp bees in on top of it and literally you can see the difference in that nuke within about a week. And you're using up surplus bees from the hive. No fighting at all whatsoever and don't have your bees too soggy in it either. Don't think. It's so easy to, one, you graft and you can get 20 queen cells. Then from your 20 queen cells, you might have 12 queens hatching. And then from your 12 queens to get them actually mated, that's the hard bit, right? And the really easy thing to do is get them killed by bad queen introduction. Right? So you put a whole month's work into it, and then people just put them into the hive and think it's going to be all right. Is that queen introduction is very important, right? And this you can see is a hive that's queenless, and I'm just about to put a queen into it. Right? Can you see the level of aggression that's towards that queen? I mean, what I do is I do a delayed introduction. So this is just a queen cage that I had used before, so the tab has gone off the bottom of it. Is that I will put a queen in and the tab is left for a minimum of 24 hours. That tab is in there because they can go through that funnel in about 20 minutes if they're aggressive enough to get out. I put a queen into a cage, into a one day, in a cage, into a hive, and about 20 minutes later I went, you know what, I'm going to give that queen, I'm going to take that queen out. And I opened up, I took off the queen's suit, and next thing I looked, where was that? They had my queen out, killed her, and they were taken out of the hive in 20 minutes. So I always, for a minimum of 1 hour, of 1 day, is I leave the tab in. The stronger the hive, if it was a really aggressive hive that I was trying to requeen, and they say you shouldn't requeen a full colony, is I've often left the tab in for 4 days. I leave it for 4 days in there to the hive, and then release the tab. And you will then get 100% success rate. The other important thing is that once your queen is released, don't go back looking to see if she's there the following day. They're already a little jumpy with her, and if you go back and you're just saying, I want to see if she's out or she's laying within 24 hours, there is a good potential that they'll jump on the queen and kill her. So leave her and leave them bound with her for about a week before you go looking to see is the queen out. So if you're unsure if there's a queen in there, and you're not too sure, use a test frame. So a test frame is you go to another hive and you take a frame of open brood. Open brood is the strongest pheromone that's in the hive after the queen, and we just insert that into the centre of the brood nest. If you don't insert this and you put it in and there is a queen there, your queen will be killed. Right? And this will tell you 100% whether there's a queen there. So we put in the frame of open brood, 24 hours we come back and here's your queen cell. You see a queen cell here and a queen cell there. That is giving you a 100% indication that there is no queen in that hive, and now you can put your queen in and that they will accept that queen. If there's only a small little run queen that's in there, if there's a virgin that still hasn't come into lay, you put in a mature quality queen, and they will always favour the little run queen or their own queen that's there over what you're going to put in, and it will get killed time and time again. So test frame, if you're in any doubt, it will tell you literally within 24 hours. So, and generally, especially for beginners, I'll always say, if you do handle your queen, just for marking her, put her in a matchbox, let the paint dry off, leave her for a few minutes to quiet it down, and then just slowly open the matchbox and let them go down quietly in between the frames. I always generally like to, I catch my queen, I hold it a bit, and I put it back onto the frame itself with the bees, and I just see what the reaction is from the queen, from the bees to the queen, and that'll let you know whether she's going to be accepted, because sometimes they just don't like the smell of your fingers or the smell of the gloves. So, and that's it. Enjoy your beekeeping, but. The real big thing is that, and when we see a year like this, is any opportunity to make up a new, make it up. Is that go into the winter time with more bees than you need, and then you won't be crying in the springtime looking around. And bees are expensive. You start going looking for them.
Keith, will you take a question or two?
I will.
Anybody got a question?
Yeah. You talked a little bit earlier, Keith, that when or why not handle your queens when they have hatched?
They're too delicate.
They're too delicate, is it?
They're very soft and spongy.
Yeah.
You know, it takes at least another 2 weeks for them to actually harden up, like, you know, and there's too much of a potential of damage.
Okay. And another question, when you were splitting down a strong hive into 5 or 8
Yes.
nukes, so that it's the flying bees that are coming back, they're refilling each nuke, is
Yeah,
that?
so I will just put, you know, I've removed the hive
Yeah.
away,
Yeah.
and I put my hive here. So
And
I will just go and I'll take a frame of brood, and I put it in here with a frame of stores, and I have flying bees coming back, and I might shake a frame out of the super into it, and I look in and I'm going, yeah.
Yeah, that's full now. Put a lid on it and get
frames
it.
of bees and that there now with the flying bees. I'll sponge it, move it aside,
And get another
now I
one.
put another nuke box in, and I keep doing that until I'm going. I don't have, there's only enough bees left in that. So then generally what I do with the last one is that I just put a nuke box back, maybe with the original queen, or just to mop up the bees that are there, and I leave that there to mop up the flying bees that's
Gotcha.
around. You know?
From the first nuke to the last nuke,
Yeah.
ballpark, roughly, how long can that
20
take?
minutes. Oh, to doing it?
Yeah,
20 minutes.
for all of the nukes?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
You've already arrived set up.
Yeah,
You know, you have your nukes there set up, you have brought your frames of stores that's there, like, you know,
Yeah.
so it's only just a matter of just moving it to the side, getting in there and getting your frame.
yeah, okay.
But always, just remember what you're doing is that always do it with your best hives. Always
Yeah.
be giving them queen cells from your best hives. You know, don't be giving them from hives that are rotten with chalk brood. Don't be giving them from hives that struggle to get through the